This is KGW News at noon.
President Biden is in the air and on his way to Portland. Air Force One is scheduled to touch down at the Air National Guard base at PDX within the hour. The president will give a speech at the airport talking about his infrastructure deal and how it impacts Oregon and Washington. Then he'll attend a private fundraiser. After that, the president will head up to Seattle. We will have a live report as Air Force One gets closer to the Rose City. KGW will also bring you coverage of the president's arrival, speech, and departure. We'll stream it on our mobile app and our YouTube channel. Plus, you can read more about the visit on KGW.com and check out our story of the history of presidential visits in Portland. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. Now, over the next 5 years, Oregon and Washington are set to receive billions from President Biden's infrastructure bill. That includes millions for the Port of Portland. As we wait for the president to arrive, Alma McCarty gives us a closer look at possible plans for that money.
On the last report card from the American Society of Civil Engineers a few years back, the state of Washington got a C. The state of Oregon, a C-. Other states didn't fare much better as our infrastructure nationally ages. The $1.2 trillion Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act aims to make those repairs. Washington will get around $1.8 billion for road projects. Oregon, around $1.2 billion over 5 years. Projects like the Interstate 5 bridge replacement and the Rose Quarter Highway redesign project likely candidates for federal dollars.
You know, I got my last major objective that had escaped me since the Obama administration done this year. Not exactly in the form I wanted, but we got it done.
Congressman Peter DeFazio, chair of the House Committee on Transportation, sponsored the bill and spoke with our Laurel Porter on Straight Talk earlier this year.
A huge increase in funding for America's deteriorated infrastructure, roads, bridges, highways, transit, rail, ports.
Oregon will get millions to improve public transit, to make systems resilient to earthquakes and natural disasters, to ensure clean drinking water for all communities, to expand electric vehicle charging stations, and to help more Oregonians get broadband coverage. Several million will also go to protect against wildfires and against cyber attacks. Alma McCarty, KGW News.
And while the president is in town, we are tracking the chance of a thunderstorm. Rod, I'm not worried about Air Force One. That thing is a flying fortress. But for the rest of us, what can we expect?
Oh, you make it sound so rude, though, Brenda. The president's coming. You might have some storms around. Here we go. We have showers that are still moving from south to north. And, you know, if you live in Portland, Salem, and Vancouver, odds are your home has been completely dry since the sun popped up this morning. We are now, and this just happened in the last 45 minutes or so, starting to see shower activity increase at the coast range, and starting to see some stuff increase down around Salem as well. There are sun breaks to be had. Here's the camera at the end of the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center in Oregon City. A little bit of blue, not so much from this vantage point looking across at the West Hills from our Rose City camera, but we are at 56. That's warmer than we were yesterday. So sun breaks, warming temps will help add the chance of scattered showers turning into thunderstorms. So we will keep that possibility alive for this afternoon. Looks like we'll be in the upper 50s. Of course, rain cooled once any showers pass over your area. Brenda?
Rod, thank you. Now to some of the other local headlines that we're tracking this afternoon. The FBI is offering $15,000 to help solve a Portland homicide. Jamir Brown was 18 years old when he was gunned down on New Year's Eve in 2020. Investigators say he and his friend were sitting in a car near Woodlawn Park in Northeast Portland watching YouTube videos when they were shot. Authorities suspect Brown may have been mistaken for a gang member. In all, the FBI is offering close to $25,000 for information about Brown's murder. A Clackamas County judge ruled Oswego Lake should be open to the public. For years, access has been restricted to those who live on the lake. This ruling does not immediately open the lake to the public because most of it is surrounded by private property. But there are 2 public parks with access. However, no one could use them because the city passed an ordinance in 2012 blocking access. Now, petitioners have successfully argued that the lake itself is public. This is all going to be in court again this summer. We expect to learn more in July. And the Portland City Council voted to raise parking rates in the Lloyd district near Moda Center. Starting in September, drivers will pay $3 an hour for metered parking instead of $1. The goal is to create an event district to encourage carpooling and public transit to ease congestion in the Rose Quarter. And those are some of your local headlines. Well, the prosecution just rested their case this morning in the murder trial of romance novelist Nancy Crampton Brophy. The defense will begin presenting its case next Wednesday. Brophy is accused of shooting and killing her husband Daniel at the Oregon Culinary Institute, where he was an instructor. Some of the prosecution's final witnesses were friends of the Brophy family. The couple's hairstylist said she read about the shooting in the newspaper. She also said when she asked Nancy about the murder, Nancy said the garage door leading to the Culinary Institute was open when Daniel was shot.
Well, I gave her a hug and told her how sorry I was, and I was really sad. Obviously, I'm sorry. And I asked, what happened? Because again, there'd been nothing in the paper.
Both the prosecution and defense say the killer had access through that open garage door, but the defense claims it was someone else, not Nancy. Nancy is expected to take the stand at some point during this trial. Again, the defense will start their arguments next Wednesday.
If I had 5 minutes with President Biden, first of all, I would recognize the complexity of the big mess any world leader has right now.
Coming up, Portlanders sounding off on what they'd ask the president if they had the chance. And here is a live picture from the Oregon National Guard base at PDX. That is where President Biden is expected to speak later today. Air Force One scheduled to touch down sometime after 12:30. We'll keep you posted.